Refresh. There we are.
All right.
And let's see. You are reviewing Biolab
Biolab
Wars.
Yes.
Are you going to put it on Twitter?
I already did.
Oh, okay. Then I will put it on Facebook. For the Nintendo Switch. Share that. I will tweet from my phone real quick.
I got to get one of those selfie lights to put above the computer.
Yeah.
Can never get the lighting right in here.
Let me refresh this.
All right, stream seems to be a little bit better now.
Oh, good.
No dropped frames. Awesome.
I'm looking at Brandon Rutledge's comment from last week's show. Summer is my favorite season, but I also love air conditioning. Therefore, I'm not a psychotic. My response will be, "You're a Final Fantasy fan,
Yeah.
so that trumps your air conditioning. So you're psychotic." All right, share this to the Facebook.
All right.
Close out Facebook.
I'm not doing Facebook no more. I'm just not even going to go there anymore. I'm just going to let my page rot.
That's fair. I mean, I can't really say I blame you.
I'm going to have more fun on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's where all the fun stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just post lyrics to songs that get stuck in my head at that moment in time.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what Twitter's for stuff like that. All right, let me put the chat in a separate tab. Hi, Mixmaster.
Mixmaster. He's on a Facebook break. I hear you. I am too. Probably not just a break. Probably permanently. I hate
Move
that
that.
cesspool.
On I don't know if it's something that you can fix now that we're live, but my picture looks way bigger than yours.
Okay, let me. Discord capture. Let me unlock it. There we go. How's that? That looks good. Now we look about equal.
Yeah, that looks better.
I'm going to lock it back so I don't move it.
Yeah, Mixmaster says he has to make a new profile. What I should this would actually be funny if we were to delete our profiles but then make new ones with completely different names.
We should make them as each other.
Oh, that'd be funny.
All right, I'm good to go if you are.
Yep, I got all the tabs open, so
everything's
I'm all
pulled
set.
up. Good to go.
Yep,
All right,
I'm ready.
here we go. 3, 2, 1. Do you like the show and you want to help support us? Do you want us to stay ad-free? Do you want extra episodes every month? Of course you do. Then head over to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. Become a Patreon supporter of this very show. Greetings, programs, and welcome to another edition of the Nerd Cave Retro Show. My name is Jason Robbins.
And my name is Derek Diamond.
It has been quite hot outside. I'm done living in the South. I'm done. I'm cooked. Stick a fork in me. I'm done.
See, this is just one of the multiple reasons why we should move.
Yeah, I want to move. Let's move.
I mean, it's that you've got all the bugs, especially the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
You've got the threat of hurricanes because we've already had like 30,
Yeah.
and it's not even the end of July. So it's yeah. I mentioned this before we started, but the other day I walked outside to get my mail. When I walked back in my house, I was already sweating.
Dude, it's
It was
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It just it's even bad like in the shade, but if you walk out in the sun, it literally feels like you're being personally attacked by the sun. It's almost disrespectful how hot it is outside.
It's like the sun from Mario Brothers 3 took over.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Has it been raining a lot in Biloxi?
Yes. It's been
It's rained
raining,
here almost every day.
which sucks because when the sun does come out, it's super humid
Yep.
and it's just like you're living in a giant steam bath. So it sucks even worse.
Yeah, it rained here today, I think, from like 10 o'clock in the morning to like 3 in the afternoon. It's been like that almost every day. It didn't rain on Sunday, I think, here, but it's like almost every day, like the last week or two, it has.
Yeah.
So I've just been, honestly, that and the heat, I've just been staying inside, and I don't go outside unless
Yeah.
I have to.
Unfortunately, I have to work in the heat, so I can't take it anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm ready to
that
move.
sucks.
I'm ready to move far, far away from here.
Me and you both, sir.
Yeah. So what's up? What's new with you? Anything new we want to talk about before we go into news?
Not too much. I mean, honestly, the last couple of weeks have been pretty, pretty substandard for the most part. I mean, working, Thursday through Saturday and working during the day, the other days of the week, and just doing my other show and playing a couple of video games. Other than that, like it hasn't really been an eventful couple of weeks.
Yeah, I got this new game on the Switch the other night that I've been wanting to tell you about. I think it's called Goblin Sword.
Sounds interesting.
It is. It's on sale right now for like $2, and it's awesome. I played it the other night and couldn't put it down, and it's all I've been thinking about is playing it. And like it's just because the controls feel so good, and it's kind of like a treasure. It's one of those games where you go through the level and you have to find all the treasure chests and all the jewels and all that kind of stuff, and you get money, you find coins, and then you go to the shop and you upgrade your armor and your weapons and your trinkets and all that kind of stuff. And it's so ridiculously addicting. I think you would very much like it.
Only $2?
Yep, $2.
Oh wow,
And I
I'll have to
think
check that out.
even when it's not on sale, I think it's only like $4.99 or something like
Oh,
that.
that's not bad either.
But
I
yeah, it's
will say
awesome.
this, not to cut you off, but they did add, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. They did add Donkey Kong Country to the Switch.
Yep.
So I have been playing that. I love that game.
Yeah, we've actually been playing it on the Super Nintendo the last few weeks. And
Such a good game.
yeah, I like playing it on the original controller. I mean, I can't. It's hard to play those old games on the Switch without a proper D-pad, unless you have the light, I guess.
Yeah.
I need a
Yeah,
proper
I can see
D-pad.
that.
I need a proper D-pad to play those old games.
No, that's understandable.
But yeah,
But no, it's other.
I think my next review is going to be that Goblin Sword game. So definitely go pick it up because I've been having a blast with it.
No, definitely. I still have to decide what bad game I want to review next week.
Yeah. Maybe I should pick for you. Hmm.
I mean, I'm okay with that, to be honest.
Oh, you know what's a really bad Super Nintendo game you could play? Or no, not Super Nintendo. Nintendo 64. Mission Impossible. I
I didn't
have it.
even know there was.
It
I didn't even know
is
there was a Mission Impossible game.
horrible. It's terrible. Like it's one of the worst N64 games I've ever played. I
That
should.
might be it, because there are a couple of Sonic Game Gear games that are really bad, but I feel like I've beat the Sonic horse to death on the show over the last year or so.
Wish we lived closer. I would just let you have it. Hey, here,
I don't know if I would accept it.
take this piece of crap.
I would just leave it on your doorstep
Yeah,
whenever I'm done with it.
I would just kick it over into the gutter. uh, yeah, Mixmaster said he played it too. And Axe Blade's here. What's up, Axe Blade? He said that
Sweet.
game is bad. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I'll do that. I will review Mission Impossible for the N64
I
next
don't
week.
know if you're gonna last. You, let's take a bet. Everyone that listens to the show and Rampage isn't here yet. He'll be here in a bit probably. But what do you think Derek will drop out faster? Superman 64 or Mission Impossible? You lasted what, 15 minutes? And that
About
was my
15
bet.
minutes, yeah.
You may last less than that on Mission Impossible.
Is it worse than Superman 64?
It's about the same level.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Sounds like my weekend set.
Hell yeah. And I'm ready to move into the news. What about you?
Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk
I
about.
really want to talk about this first story. Here we go. It's news time. From ArsTechnica.com, huge apparent leak unearths Nintendo's prototype history. Unused designs for Mario, Pokemon, Star Fox, and more see the light of day. A massive leak of apparent Nintendo source code is giving gamers a rare, unauthorized look at Nintendo's development process dating back to the Super Nintendo era. A massive trove of files, first posted to 4chan Friday and quickly dubbed the Giga Leak, includes compilable code and assets for the Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and Nintendo 64, in Mario Kart, Zelda, F-Zero, and Pokemon series. Hidden among that code is a bevy of pre-released art and sound files that have never seen the light of day, as well as fully playable prototype versions of some games. Let's see, it said there was an early Star Fox 2 leak, a version of Super Mario 64 with Luigi. They actually took the source code and built Luigi. I saw that on Twitter the other day.
Yep.
A different looking Yoshi for Yoshi's Island. An original prototype named Super Donkey, featuring a Rayman style character in Yoshi's Island. I guess that's what it was supposed to be before it became Yoshi's Island. And just like a treasure trove of stuff in this data leak.
Yeah, there was an early sprite design for what would have been Link, because you can see
Yeah,
he's very clearly holding a sword and shield. This is big. This is
yeah,
actually a really big story, just because of the sheer amount of stuff that has been released, and the fact that Nintendo hasn't commented on it points at its authenticity. Which, I mean, I don't think anybody would go to the lengths to fake the sheer amount of stuff.
yeah. And it's crazy that they keep all this information in one place. Like, does Nintendo not know how the internet works? Like, why do you
Well,
keep
if
all
you look
this
at their
stuff?
online service,
Why are you keeping all this stuff in one place? I don't get it.
yeah, it's we talk about this every now and then on the show, but it's like Nintendo will make one smart decision followed by two really dumb decisions, and this is one of the really dumb decisions.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to look and see, what Nintendo had, and we would have never seen this stuff at all, probably ever, because Nintendo keeps this stuff under lock and key. Especially looking at some of the unused Yoshi prototypes. I don't know if you saw some of those.
Hmm.
Some of those were. I mean, I'm happy with the Yoshi we got, but some of the other ones were way more. I wouldn't say menacing looking, but way more dinosaur looking.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the design they ultimately went with for Yoshi was the right call just because he looks more kid friendly.
yeah, exactly. There was a Pilot Wings prototype called Dragonfly that was previously seen only in grainy magazine shots. And it's crazy because there was a lot of old developers and stuff, that wrote some of this code that didn't know this stuff existed. Like they thought this stuff was wiped or like just trashed. They didn't know this stuff still existed.
Another cool thing too is a version of Star Fox 2 with previously unseen characters.
Yeah.
One of the characters is human,
Hmm. That's weird.
which is nuts. I was like, that just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
humans don't exist in the Lilat
Yeah.
system.
High quality voice samples from Star Fox 64, F Zero X, and Super Mario 64 before they were compressed to fit on relatively small N64 cartridges. Man, it's crazy. Just the sheer amount of information. Like, I hope Nintendo learns from this. And I hope, too, that because of this, they learn that there is a. This stuff's part of history.
Hmm.
Not only Nintendo history, but video game history, and this stuff needs to be archived in some way that's accessible, that people can just go and look at. There's Rampage. He just joined the chat room.
Rampage. My biggest regret from this whole thing is we never got Super Donkey.
Yeah, Super Donkey. And in the
Oh
morning, I'm
man,
making waffles.
yeah. All right, so our next story comes to us from NintendoLife.com. The Fun Key S is a handheld console that fits on your keyring, and I love the little headline. What is this? A handheld for
Yeah,
ants?
this thing is so tiny.
I know you Zoolander fans will get that. The impossibly dinky retro handheld Funky S is close to finishing its Kickstarter run and has raised an impressive 124,000 pounds so far, and it's easy to see why. This diminutive handheld system is small enough to fit onto your bunch of keys, yet it runs Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SNES, and even PlayStation titles. It even comes with a sensor which detects when the console is closed, so gameplay is automatically suspended and the unit is powered down. Boasting dimensions of 42.5 by 44.5 by 13.8 millimeters, and powered by an ARM Cortex A7 running a 1.2 gigahertz. The Fun Key S is built around open source hardware and software. So,
How would you even play this thing?
so it reminds me actually of a skit from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, with the tiny phone.
Yeah, with Will Ferrell.
It does.
That like instantly when I saw the photo, I just instantly pictured Will Ferrell just slowly
Yeah.
opening up the phone and just that's so good.
That's exactly what I thought too when I first looked at this picture. I was like, man, this thing is tiny. Like, how would you even see to play on this thing?
I don't know.
And longtime listener Brandon Rutledge is in the chat room tonight.
Yes. Yeah, I echo Rampage's sentiment. We got a good group tonight.
Yeah, we do.
And Mixmaster had a shot of cake vodka. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Ooh, I don't know if I can handle that.
I would probably be passed out because I would like if it tastes like cake,
Yeah.
I'm drinking half the bottle and I will probably sleep for 3 days.
For our next story from thegamer.com, Retro Gaming's detail Street Fighter 2 Zangief was nerfed because one player was too good with him. Game producer Yoshiki how do you pronounce that?
Akamoto.
Akamoto, a man with 38 years of industry experience, recently answered several interesting questions about the original Street Fighter 2. Perhaps the most interesting of all was the revelation that at one point Zangief was the strongest character in the game. Let's see. Okamoto describes an arcade uh, named Chateau EX in I cannot read tonight. Kayabashi, and a player would frequent the spot known around the local gaming community as the Zangief Expert. This arcade was used to assess the game's performance in an arcade setting. The developers were looking for information that could be used to better balance the final version for the release, since trying to update um, arcade cabinets around the world would be a monumental task in the release, a post release. Zangief was the most problematic character because no matter how many changes the developers made to tone down the wrestler, the one expert would win all the time. Developers sent their staff to monitor this player, taking notes about his playstyle and timing matches. At one point, one of these employees monitoring the situation called in to report that the player had won an unbelievable 85 times in a row. Upon hearing the news, the developers were not entirely surprised because at its core, Zangief allowed players to suck opponents in and repeatedly execute a series of throws. So they pretty much, just because this player was too good, they went in and pretty much stripped him down to the Zangief that we all now know and love.
Yeah, they put the kibosh on that, as they like to say. I mean, for some reason, I'm surprised that we're just now hearing a story about this,
Yeah.
about there being like a gamer who's too good with a certain character from like a Street Fighter or a Mortal Kombat, so they have to go in and make them less powerful.
Oh yeah. Because it wasn't as easy to do back then. I mean, not like they
Yeah,
could patch stuff through the internet. They didn't have anything hooked up to the internet back then.
and now you know why I'm not very good at fighting games.
Yeah, Brandon, if you guys do a drinking game based on me trying to pronounce Japanese names, you'd all be drunken on the floor by the end of the news segment.
The chat room would be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. For our next story, these come to us courtesy of I Am the Rampage. This is from IGN. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 gets a release date. Paramount has announced its plans to release Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in theaters on April 8th, 2022. Ben Schwartz, who voiced the titular Blue Blur in the first movie, confirmed on Twitter that the video game movie sequel will speed onto the big screen in less than 2 years, though no further details about the Sega Sonic oriented project have been revealed at this time. This calendar date confirmation for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 comes shortly after reports surfaced that a sequel was in development. Jeff Fowler, who helmed the 2020 film, is expected to return to direct from a script written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller, who also co wrote the first movie. The original live action movie set a record for the most successful video game movie debut of all time, racing past its initial predictions of 40 to 45 million to bring in an estimated 57 million at the US box office and 100 million globally.
That's a lot of money.
And it's nuts because this was like the last big movie to come out, I think this and Onward,
Yeah, this was the
before the
last
pandemic
movie.
hit.
This was the last movie I saw before COVID hit.
Yep, same. And it's still been doing very well on video on demand.
Yeah, I figured 2022 would be when they would release a second one. But if COVID doesn't go away anytime soon, they won't have a lot of time to do a initial filming, principal photography before they could get to do all the CGI stuff. So that's really, when you think about it, it's not a lot of time. It's not even 2 full years from now.
Well, especially when you think of the stories coming out that theaters possibility may not open back until next year.
Yeah.
I've heard that, and then I've heard that Tenet's going to be released at the end of August internationally, and then will come out in the United States over Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, things just keep getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back repeatedly. So
Mm-hmm.
who honestly knows when? I mean, I'm glad they have at least set a date for it. I mean, we all kind of knew that after the success of the movie that it was going to happen
Oh yeah.
as far as a sequel goes. But I'll be, I mean, if we're able to go in theaters, I will definitely be there opening weekend.
Yeah, same here. I miss going to the movies. It's killing me because I would have already been to like 30 movies by this time. Yeah,
I was
you know.
actually the interview I'm releasing this week for my show. We were talking about things that we miss doing due to the pandemic, and my number one thing is going to a movie theater.
Yeah, the popcorn, the candy.
Yeah. Mixmaster brings up a little Nerd Cave Retro nugget. Episode 200 of our show coming before too long.
I know. What, 12 more episodes?
Yeah, we still got to figure out what we're gonna do for it.
I know. I want to get Howard Phillips on. That's what I'm trying to do.
That would be great.
Yeah. But
That would be that'd be so cool.
for our last story, this is also from I Am the Rampage. From IGN.com, Mega Man live action film is still happening and big news is coming soon. While it's been a while since we've heard any updates on the live action film based on Mega Man, directors Henry Jost and Ariel Schulman have confirmed that it's still happening and that big news should be coming soon. Um, Jost and Schulman were asked about the Mega Man film they've been attached to since 2018. I also asked if it was true that Project Power writer Mattson Tomlin was on board to write a script. That is true, Jost answered. We had just a great time working with Mattson on Project Power that we invited him in to help us out with Mega Man. We're super excited about it. I think we're going to have some big news about it soon. I can't say all that much right now, but it's a project very near and dear to our hearts, and we're psyched. So what do you think? You think they can pull off a Mega Man movie in the same vein of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I was gonna say that I got my good Sonic movie, and I hope you get your good Mega Man movie.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But I don't know if Mega Man is cultural is known culturally as much as Sonic the Hedgehog is, though.
True, but I mean, you have those classic like Nintendo fans that will recognize Mega Man, and I mean, if the trailer looks good, it's it's gonna sell people to watch the movie.
Yeah,
I've said this for years, but the video game movie genre, it's like the comic book movie genre. It just needed
yeah,
one good movie to open the floodgates. And now look, we've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
yep,
Now with the success of Sonic, let's hope that Mega Man and any other video game adaptations will have that same success.
yeah. Because I can't watch any more Double Dragons or Super
Ooh,
Mario Brothers.
yeah. Mixmaster asked who would play Dr. Wily.
Hmm. Jim Carrey.
I was gonna say have Jim Carrey just do both.
I don't know. Who would be a good Dr. Wily? Hmm.
And is Dr. Wily more of a goofy character, or is he more of like a darker type of scientist?
Um, he's a little bit of both.
Okay.
He's more of a evil Doc Brown type of character.
Okay.
Why not
Um,
Christopher Lloyd?
yeah, I mean, honestly,
Yeah, why not?
why not? By the way, I not to go off on a tangent, but I've been watching the Back to the Future trilogy again.
Hmm.
I watched part two for the first time in probably close to 10 years, because all three of them are on Netflix. I remembered like the last time I watched it, I wasn't too big a fan of it,
Hmm.
but at watching it again, I'm like, it's really not a bad movie. I mean, it's not
No,
as good as the original, but it's
it's a
got some fun moments.
it's a good middle section. I mean, that's all it
Yeah,
needs to be. I mean, it doesn't hold up because they didn't put it far enough into the future. I mean, we're already beyond 2015, and of course, we didn't get self-drying jackets and self-lacing shoes and hoverboards and hover cars and all the cool shit that was in the movie, but it still holds up as a middle section of a larger story.
yeah. Oh, Mixmaster nailed it. Mark Hamill should play Dr. Wily.
Yes, perfect. Like nailed it.
I'm totally behind that. And then Brandon Rutledge says episode 200 should be the roast of Nerd Cave Retro.
I'm down for that.
Hey, I've already been roasted once, but
uh,
I'm down to do it again.
the Mega Man fan movie. Rampage said the Mega Man fan movie wasn't bad. Wasn't good, but wasn't bad. Cool for its time. I don't remember the Mega Man fan movie.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a
I
fan
have to go
movie.
check that out.
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube? Because if it is, I'm gonna go watch it tonight. But let's go ahead and move into this month in video game history. June 19th of 1983, Cinematronics releases. Doesn't that sound like a band? The Cinematronics
Yeah.
releases Advanced Microcomputer Systems Dragon's Lair, the third Laserdisc video game and the first in the American market.
Now I just want a single by the Cinematronics. I don't even care anything about Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, I like that. That's an awesome name, Cinematronics.
Yeah, that is. Laserdisc, that's a medium that I've never used.
Not
I've never used a Laserdisc.
I haven't either. I had some family that had Laserdisc. I actually the only movie I've ever seen on Laserdisc was Escape from New York. I remember having to flip it halfway through.
Yeah. July 14th, 1993, Super Mario All-Stars is released for the Super Nintendo in Japan. One of the best titles for the
Yes.
Super Nintendo, actually.
Actually, yeah. If you have a Super Nintendo and you don't have All Stars, like that's the number one cart you should have.
Yeah, if you can only have 5, you got to have Mario
Yeah.
All-Stars. Cuz I
My
mean, honestly, like I loved playing the original, NES games, but I really loved the remastered that they did for like Mario Brothers 1, 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, they look great. Plus, I mean, you get Super Mario World on there with it. You get the lost levels. You get everything on that cart.
Mhm.
Uh, Brandon says Dragon's Lair overdue for a review on NCR, but which one would we review? Because I don't. Would the original arcade game, which we'd have to get a ROM for, or do we play the Dragon's Lair Super Nintendo port that was absolutely god awful? I can already
Ma-
tell you that was a 1 out of 10.
that could be another nomination for my review next week.
Maybe you should do Dragon's Lair for the Super Nintendo.
I mean, Brandon Rutledge says it's overdue. See, he says, I have the Wii port of the Laserdisc game along with the second game and Space Ace.
Space Ace is terrible too on Super Nintendo. Those games did not make good ports to the home consoles. I mean, they weren't great arcade games to begin with. They looked good, but they were
Yeah.
hard to play. They weren't really games. They were just more. What would you classify those type of games as? Like quick time. Like all they were quick time games.
I would call them bad.
Yeah, that too. True. Let's see. July 26th of 1996, Taito and Acclaim released Bust-A-Move 2 Arcade Edition for the Sega Saturn and PlayStation. It's the first home version of the popular arcade puzzle game. I love Bust-A-Move. It's one of my
Same.
most favorite Super Nintendo games, arcade games. I used to work at a restaurant where they had a Bust-A-Move arcade game. I must have put at least $1,000 worth of quarters into that machine the entire time I worked there.
Back at the old dentist office that I used to go to as a kid, they had 2 arcade cabinets, and one of them was Bust-A-Move.
Yeah,
And I played a ton of that.
it's so fun.
Great game.
It's one of the most addicting game sort of mechanics that I've ever played.
It's one of those things that you can just like it's not that complicated to play, and next thing you know, like 3 hours have gone by.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nuts. I love Bust a Move.
Rampage said it's more like a modern day walking simulator, or like the Telltale Walking Dead or Batman games. But I would say the Telltale games are great because they're more like you have different decisions that you can make. You basically it's like a choose your own adventure story almost. But yeah, no, it's I wouldn't even compare it to those because I love those Telltale games.
I haven't played any of them. I want to play the Batman one though.
I haven't either. I want to play that one. I did play the Walking Dead games though.
I heard the Walking Dead games were really good.
Yeah, they are. They're great, but you have to be in a mood to play those games because you got to do some questionable stuff in those
Yeah.
games, especially the second
Rampage beat me to it. Thanks, y'all. Now I have the damn Bust a Move music in my head. You mean the
Yeah,
music from the game or the Young
yeah.
MC song?
If you want it, you got
Got it.
it.
Um, July of 1998, Heart of Darkness is released for the PlayStation in Europe and North America.
What is Heart of Darkness? I don't remember this.
Oh, Rampage says the game. That's. I mean, the music for that game was pretty catchy too.
Yeah. I don't remember this game at all.
Mm-mm.
From the French developer Amazing Studio. The role of a child named Andy as he attempts to rescue his dog who has been kidnapped by shadow like specters. It's about a half an hour of storytelling cinematic sequences, thousands of 2D animated frames, and uses pre rendered background scenery. Actually, sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's no screenshots, but I would definitely check this out.
And what kind of jerk would kidnap a dog?
I know. Don't mess with the dog, man.
Yeah, the dogs don't do
That's
anything.
why I say be careful when you're playing The Walking Dead Season 2.
Fair
Don't mess
enough.
with the dog, man.
Brandon Rutledge, Heart of Darkness will make even the best gamer rage and break stuff.
Really?
Interesting.
I've been known to rage during games.
Oh man. Let's.
Last one's
Yeah.
mine.
Yep.
July 31st of 1999, the new Tetris is released for the N64. New Tetris? Oh, I remember this.
I never played it, but I do
didn't
remember the
either.
game.
No, I never played this, but I love me some Tetris though. I had to
Tetris
pull.
is.
I had to pull
Go ahead.
myself away from Tetris 99, man, because that game will suck you in and will
Yep.
not let you go. It's
I don't
terrible.
know if I told the story on the show or not, because I know I texted you about it. I made it into the top 10 for the first time, and it was insane.
Yeah, the highest I ever got was sixth place, and it
Yeah.
was insane how fast the stuff was dropping. Like I couldn't even see what I was doing. I was just
Yeah.
like I was panicking while I was playing it. And then one of our old guests, Scott Johnson, I saw him tweet last night. He said he was playing and he was in fourth place, and the battery on his Switch Lite died. I
Oh
was like,
no.
wah wah.
Oh, that sucks.
That would be something that would happen to me. I'm a number two. I'm number two. Son of a bitch.
Mother trucker.
Yeah. Before we go into the review for tonight, Derek has some shout outs.
Yeah, so as always, we like to shout out our awesome patrons over at patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. We want to give a big shout out to Armez Jackson, Axeblade07, Daniel Salmon, John Jekyll, aka Mixmaster, Carlos Longoria, Staff Sergeant Sketch, and Randy Bailey. Thank you guys, as always, for keeping the lights on for us. And because we are at the $50 level, our next audio commentary track, I did post the video on Patreon, but I'll go ahead and reveal it, will be Street Fighter.
Yes.
So we will be reviewing, or not reviewing, we'll be doing a commentary track for Street Fighter for our next bonus show. And if you want to hear those bonus episodes way before everybody else, you can just head over to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro and be a part of our awesome Patreon.
The movie that had a Frenchman playing a super American fighter hero.
Because why not?
Why not? And poor Raul Julia, it was his final role before succumbing to stomach cancer. But hey, what a role to go out on, though. At
That's
least
true.
everybody knows that that was his final role. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was cool. I still like that movie. I don't care what anybody says. I'll watch it. And I'm
It's a
excited to
good
watch it.
it's a good bad movie.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely good bad.
Yeah.
But tonight
That'll
I
be
am
fun.
going to be talking about BioLab Wars from Forever Entertainment and Colibri Game Studio, which is weird because I wrote to them this week, Colibri Games, and asked them if we could get a code to give away on the show, and they wrote me back and they said, "You have the wrong company. The one you're looking for is Colibri Game Studios, which is a Spanish company. They're a German company." And I'm like, well, that's not confusing at all.
No, not at all.
Spelled the same, and the only thing different is the right one says studio. Like, really? That's weird.
That's ridiculous.
An alien lab experimenting on Earth. It's time to call the mercenary team on duty to sweep the invaders by firing, beating, and bombing. Inspired by the 8-bit games and by the movies from the 80s, your goal is to blow things up, defeat aliens, and fight bizarre bosses in this platformer 2D with classic mechanics. Count on the help of power-ups, grenades, and companions, but don't forget, you are the one man's army. Hooah. There are 3 characters that you can pick from in this game. There is Finn, the bodybuilder and former Marine, who is a former grill man and former television technician. There is Becca, the deadliest and toughest girl on the planet, and Teddy, the armored dog, who suffered experiments in this alien lab and now wants revenge or to just find its owner. So I was kind of disappointed because there's no difference in the characters when you play the game. Like, this is a run and gun sort of Contra-esque, side-scrolling platformer. And it's fun, but it's kind of simple. And there are 3 characters to choose from, the Finn, Becca, and Teddy. And it really just depends on what aesthetic you like to play in the game, because there's really no difference in all the characters. They all have the same gun. There's no advantage or disadvantage to each character. They're all exactly the same, just a different skin. But there is 7 levels to the game. There's all kind of weapons and power-ups you can get throughout the game. And like I said, it's fairly easy. I would say it's not too much of a challenge. I finished this game, and I'd say over the course of a day, or a couple of days, it probably took me maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to finish the whole game. So if you're looking for, and the graphics are pretty good. I mean, they're kind of that in between 8-bit and 16-bit look that, the indie games have these days. Like, it's a little bit more of a color palette. It's sort of like 16-bit, like 8-bit games with a 16-bit color palette is what it is. And like I said, it's not very hard. The boss battles are pretty easy once you figure out the patterns that they have. Each boss fight only has 2 phases. So even if you die the first time you go to the boss fight, as long as you have extra lives, you'll start right back at the boss fight and be able to defeat the boss, because once you figure out the pattern, it's easy to defeat the boss. But I gotta say, I mean, just the whole aesthetic of the game, the look of it, the feel of it, I had a lot of fun playing it. I mean, if you're looking for a super hard side scroller that's gonna take you hours to beat, this ain't it. If you're looking something for like a huge challenge, this ain't it. This is more. This is what I've been craving lately. Just a kind of fairly easy, not too challenging side scroller, kind of mindless shooter. And this is exactly what I got with this game. And I think I got it for like 49 cents on sale on the Switch store. It might still be on sale, but it's not normally that expensive. I think it's like a $2 game. But like I said, there's not much. I mean, I told you the story. You have to go through the game to defeat the aliens that are experimenting on Earth, and it's so 80s. It's ridiculous because like the main character guy, Finn, he's sort of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger character, and like you've got the one I played the most was Teddy, the armored dog, because why would you not play an armored dog through the
That's who
whole
I would
game?
play as in a heartbeat.
So there's like I said, there's no advantage to one character over another. It's just whatever you feel like playing as. And when I saw the dog, I was like, I'm playing the dog.
You have to play as the dog.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's fun. I'm not gonna say it's super challenging or anything like that. But if you're looking for just something, a game that you can just lay in bed and sort of just have fun playing a side-scrolling shooter, this is the perfect game to play. And like I said, it's not expensive. It's only like 50 cents. So you can't go wrong picking this up right now. Actually, right now it's no longer on sale. It's $1.99 on the Switch.
Which still, it's $2.
Yes,
That's nothing.
$2 for
Yeah.
a couple of hours worth of fun.
I'm gonna get this just to see, what like obviously, actually play through everything that you're talking about. I watched a little bit of the trailer that's attached to this article, and it looks, exactly like what you said, that kind of hybrid between
Yeah,
NES, SNES. It has like 8-bit graphics with a 16-bit color palette.
yeah. And that's what I like about it. Is just
Yeah,
looking at the artwork in it, and something about these games just really makes me want to develop my own indie game like this. Like I would love to do just a really short, like cool side scroller shooter experience that's like,
yeah,
cost somebody $1 to play. Axblade
yeah.
asked me if I have played Blazing Chrome yet. Same style of game as Contra. No, I haven't played it yet, but I will definitely look it up and pick it up because I'm in the mood for this right now. That's why I picked up that game. Let me look, make sure that's the name of that game. Is it Goblin? Goblin. Yeah, it's called
Mix.
Goblin Sword.
Yeah,
It is that I was such in the mood. I saw the trailer for this and I was like, I have to have this game right now. And it is. I'm not. I don't think it's $4.99 normally. And from the fun I've had so far, I would say the $4.99 is definitely worth it for this game. It's got that sort of. It's got like that Zelda sort of feel to it, but it's a side scroller. But you're going through levels and picking up money, and you're busting up pots for gems and things like that, and getting money, and you're going back to the store and you're upgrading your weapon and all that stuff. So it's got like an RPG quality to it, and I'm having a ton of fun with it.
I gotta check that out.
Oh yeah, Mixmaster. There are if you're into indie games, the Switch is where you need to be right now.
Absolutely.
It is the indie game console to have right now.
Yeah. He also asked if I bought a Switch, what 3 games should I get minus Breath of the Wild? Because he played it on Wii U.
Hmm. Well, I definitely say Mario Odyssey.
Yep, that would be one.
Um, I haven't played Link's Awakening yet, but I'm gonna say Link's Awakening.
Yeah, that would be my number two.
Um, what
And
would you
then
say?
my third, and you might differ, on your third choice, but my third would be Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Animal Crossing, but honestly, Animal Crossing is not really a game. It's more like a relaxation app. It's like a gardening app, and it's chores the game, is what it is.
Got to sell them turnips.
But the thing is, that, with the Switch, there are so many cool indie games out there for relatively cheap. Like I said, Goblin Sword right now is $4.99, totally worth it. Um, Biolab Wars is $1.99. I bought it for I think 50 cents when I got it on sale. And there's just so many cool indie games on the Switch right now that it $10 will get you 3 or 4 games, indie games that are great.
Mm-hmm. No, Switch is absolutely worth it
Yeah.
for all those reasons that we listed.
Let's see. The critics reviews for Biolab Wars Metacritic. It does not have any critic reviews yet. User reviews. It came out in November, so you would think there would be some reviews.
Yeah.
Um, there's only one review on here from under users, and they gave it a 10. Said the game is incredibly good for its price, especially. No, it just says that it's good for the price. Like they're back in the SNES times. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's got that feel to it, but it's not as hard as some of the old SNES. Like Contra on the Super Nintendo is ridiculous. Like I don't even want to play that game. It's so freaking hard. But yeah, I give this game. I mean, I'm not gonna give it anything too high. I'd say this is a good solid C, a 7 out of 10.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's not a grade A, gotta have it kind of game, but it's a good time waster and it's a fun game. And I love these type of really short indie title experiences. And I love the fact that I can play it and beat it in, a couple of hours. Like Curse of the Moon when I first played that. I went through it. Took me a couple of hours to get through it the first time, but then the second time I went through it, it took me less than an hour to get through it a second time.
And I'll echo Axblade 7's statement in the chat. For that price, still sounds well worth it. For
Oh
$2,
yeah. Yeah, you can't beat it.
yeah.
But
But no,
that's my
I think seven's fair.
yeah. That's my review for it. Like I knew I wasn't going to have a whole lot to say about it because if you're into this type of stuff, you're just into it. And right now I'm really into what cool indie titles can I find for the Switch. And I always seem to come across cool stuff like this one and there's always sales going on. So, I always kind of keep an eye out on the sales on the Switch for indie games and when I come across stuff like this, and when I bought this, I essentially got this for free because it was only 50 cents, but I bought it when I bought Curse of the Moon 2, which was $15, which then gave me enough credits. What are the gold and silver Switch credits to get
Yeah.
this for free, essentially. So basically, I got this for free for buying Curse of the Moon 2.
Yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and I think my next review is definitely going to be Goblin Sword, and I would love for you to play it so we can kind of maybe do a dual review of it. I think you'll really get a kick out of it because it's just the controls, man. The controls are so tight and perfect, and you just want to play it and find all the little secret areas, and you go through the level and you see what you missed when it goes through all the stuff that you could have gotten through the level, and you're like, oh, I missed a gem or I missed a chest, and you go back through and you finally stumble upon like a hidden area, and you're like, oh, I finally found it, and it's like this total dopamine hit, and it's totally, it's charging my gaming engine right now.
Yeah. No, I'll get it this weekend, and I'll check it out for sure.
So
Now
we're
I just
coming
have
up.
to decide: do I want to review Mission Impossible or Dragon's Lair?
I'm. Hold on. Do I have a? Does anybody have a coin? Do you have a coin on you? You can flip.
Not directly at me, no.
I don't have a coin to flip.
Actually, hang on. Let me. I've got the Avengers coin I used
Oh,
in
okay.
the coin
Yeah.
toss video. All right,
All
stand
right.
by. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, the Contra collection is nice. I want to get that too. I love all the Contra games, but man, that Contra for Contra 3 for the Super Nintendo is just ridiculously hard. All right,
All
so
right, I'm back.
we got the coin.
All right,
Oh,
so
thank you.
this is a special Avengers Endgame opening weekend commemorative coin.
All right.
So you have the big A right here. That'll be
Okay.
heads.
Okay.
Then we have the full Endgame logo. That's going to be tails.
All right.
I'm going to say heads will be Mission Impossible,
Okay.
and tails will be Dragon's Lair.
All right. Here we go.
It is heads.
So it's Mission Impossible.
It is Mission Impossible.
Oh boy,
Uh,
this is gonna be fun.
that's to use. I mean, it's going to sound like slightly vulgar, but it's really the only analogy I can think of. It's either choosing between getting punched or
Yeah.
kicked in the dick. They're both going to
uh,
suck,
yeah,
but you get your choice.
Axeblade did kind of get it. He said Mission Impossible is at least a game. A horrible game, but a game unlike the very limited interactive cartoon like Dragon's Lair.
So the coin made the right decision.
Yeah. We'll save I think you should save Dragon's Lair for horror movie or horror Halloween horror month.
Halloween horror month because
Yeah.
it's going to be a horror to play it, something like
Absolutely.
that. Let's see.
Oh, you'll
Um,
get the rage episode next week because I have a feeling Derek's gonna hate Mission Impossible.
I have a feeling I will too. I've seen nothing from the game, but I have already am not looking forward to it.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Uh, uh. Well, I mean, I said I was going to review a bad game, so I will keep my word.
But what is this in the end of show notes? End weekly contest?
Okay, so I know I put this on Twitter, not on the Nerd Cave Retro one, but on my personal one a couple of weeks back. So here in Pensacola, there's a local newspaper called In Weekly, and
Oh
every
yeah.
year they do a Best of the Coast contest where they do like best restaurant, like best wedding venue, um, best tourist attraction, stuff like that. Well, they started a best podcast category. And I've originally I wasn't going to really worry about it, but I was like, you know what? Why not try it? So I've kind of put my podcast in the race to try and
Awesome.
win best podcast. So
You should
um
put the link in the on the Nerd Cave Retro Twitter and Facebook.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do because the link is way too long to actually spell. It's not like a simple website you can
Yeah.
go to. It's a the ballot is all write in, so like you could literally, if you want to go in and just vote for my show and submit it, you can do that.
Yeah.
So I'll share that because voting ends at the end of the month, which is in only a couple of days.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna have to go vote for you.
yeah, so I think it'd be kind of cool to do it. I figure why not at least try. So if anybody who's listening, just look at the Nerd Cave Retro Twitter or Facebook and vote for the Derek Diamond Experience as best podcast of Pensacola.
And we usually like to read listener emails and stuff, but we haven't really gotten too many emails lately. We've gotten stories and stuff, but you guys, I was actually thinking, what if we compiled a few Something for the 200th episode, like maybe some short sound files, or write us. What do you think we should do, Derek? Something maybe like, what's your best gaming memory, or something like that, or what do you miss most about gaming from the 90s or the 80s?
That's not a bad idea, and we could just compile them, like, give everybody a due date,
Yeah,
and then, we can compile them, and just, like, as a segment on the show, we can play them. I
yeah,
I like that idea a lot. We could do, like, you know, favorite old school game and, what you miss most about, like, that era of gaming.
yeah. So
I dig that.
let's do that. And if you want to send us like a 30-second voice clip, like on your phone or whatever, and email it to us. We've got what, like 3 more months before we hit 200. We're what, 12 episodes away, so that's what, roughly 3 months.
Yes, about 3 months,
So
yeah.
so that'll give you about 3 months to get us a 30-second clip, or just write it down, something we can read. But I want to do something special for the 200th episode, and I think that would be fun to have a segment of the show where we have listeners send us some of their favorite gaming memories, or something they miss that's not part of gaming anymore. Something to do with retro gaming.
If my, math is correct, our 200th show will air on October 21st.
Ooh, right in the middle of Halloween Horror Month.
Yes. I'm actually thinking about doing, something similar on my show too, do like a Halloween movie horror month.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kinda cool.
Oh, why don't you? Since we did Halloween 3 and you very much liked Halloween 3,
Oh, we didn't even mention that about the Pensacon
yeah,
announcement.
I think we should do a segment of the show from now on where we do Pensacon announcements or Pensacon news, because what dropped today floored me. Like, I have not been this excited about a celebrity in my entire 6 years of going to Pensacon. Like, soon as you told me this, I was freaking out. Literally freaking out.
So, for those who don't know what we're talking about, Tom Atkins, who was the lead actor in Halloween 3, which is a movie that the 2 of us have very much defended, and you actually introduced me to it.
Yes.
He is going to be at Pensacon.
I have Halloween 3 on VHS. I'm going to have him sign my VHS copy of Halloween 3. And I want to
You
get
got
a
to.
picture with him. And if I can, we've got to get an interview with him. We have to. And I I'm so, I can't even talk. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I haven't been this excited since I met Bruce Campbell.
And that's high praise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since I've done interviews at, like, I mean, I've used to record panels that I've moderated, and I just use those as podcasts. But I mean, I'd be all for, if we try and get an interview with him.
Yeah, we have to,
Why not
because
try?
I want to ask him everything there is to know about that movie. Because I love Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is literally one of my favorite horror movies, science fiction horror movies of all time. And I know people hate it, but if you just look at the movie without without the bias of being a Halloween movie, you know,
Yeah,
it's a great movie. And
it
oh,
really is.
I must be getting famous because I've been getting bots lately in the Twitch chat.
Well, you're getting famous when you get bots.
Yeah. Where's Rampage? Boot him. Rampage, you have the power. And Axeblade too. I think you guys both have the power to boot the bots.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, as soon as I saw that, like, I actually said "holy shit" out loud
Yeah.
whenever I saw that announcement. Now, I instantly took a screen cap and I was like, I have to send this to Jason because
It,
he will lose his mind.
I was at work and you sent it to me, and I was looking at my phone and I started shaking, and I was trying to like text you back like, what? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Bootage.
we
They booted him.
yeah. No,
Thank you
we gotta
guys.
try and get some type of an interview with him. That'd be great.
Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for Pensacon now. Like you have no idea. I feel like I'm about to meet like Randy Savage or something. It's like I can't. It's so like he's just. I can't believe they got him there.
Well, I mean, he was also like he was in The Fog, he was in Escape
Yeah,
from New York, he was in Lethal Weapon.
he. I mean,
He's done a lot of stuff.
he's the next best thing to actually meeting John Carpenter because he's been in
Yeah.
like every John Carpenter movie.
So it's in a way we're like vicariously talking to John Carpenter.
Yeah, exactly. We could be we're gonna be interviewing him, and he's gonna get mad because we're gonna be asking nothing but John Carpenter questions.
So no, that's great and all, but yeah, tell us more about Mr. Carpenter.
uh, Whoa! Did Axplay said he's got to thinking about Halloween 3 in the commercial song? Happy, happy
Happy, happy
Halloween.
Halloween,
Do I still have
Halloween,
that on here?
Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween,
I don't.
Silver Shamrock.
Oh man, I don't have it on here anymore. I used to have it on my soundboard, but think I got rid of it.
That was actually I loved that whole thing we did last year where we did Halloween 1 and 2 recap on this show and did Halloween 3 on my show.
Yeah.
We should do something like that again for Halloween week.
Oh, definitely. I definitely want to do that again. Didn't we have Joey on for the Halloween
For both
3?
of them,
For both
yeah.
of them, yeah. That was fun.
Cuz we literally did both back to back, and then I remember we did it like really early in the day
Hmm.
cuz we finished at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and we were talking about other horror movies, and I was like, you know what, I've never seen Scream before, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it.
We should do.
And I went on like a horror binge.
What should we? Should we do? Maybe do the Evil Dead series this year?
I'd be okay with that.
Because we could do Evil Dead 1 and 2 for this show, and then do Army of Darkness for the Derek Diamond experience, and or actually maybe we could do a couple episodes because we've also got Ash versus Evil Dead to do. Have you watched that yet?
I have not.
Dude, start that this weekend. It's on Netflix. Go watch it before it goes away, please. Ash versus Evil Dead is so good.
I mean, we could do that. We could do Evil Dead 1 and 2 for this show and then Ash versus Evil Dead for mine.
Yeah, let's do that because we got to throw Army of Darkness in there too.
Okay. we could figure it out. I mean, it's like 3 months away.
And then do we throw in the Evil Dead remake too that they did in 2013? Because that's still technically canon in the Evil Dead universe.
When did Army of Darkness come out?
93, I think.
Okay. I was going to say we could do like classic Evil Dead for this show and more modern Evil Dead for mine.
Yeah. Well, we could do 1, 2, and 3 for this show, and then
Mhm.
just do maybe a supersized episode, or split it into two or something like that. And then we could do Ash versus Evil Dead and the new Evil Dead for Derek Diamond experience.
If we split it into 2 shows, like say we do Evil Dead 1 and 2 for this show and then maybe do Evil Dead 3. I don't know, like I'm trying to think like we could split it into 2 episodes for this show and 2 episodes for mine.
Yeah, I was thinking because that's a lot of stuff to go through for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
So I mean,
Evil Dead series. That's one of my favorite horror series.
there is actually an Evil Dead musical here in town.
I
That
know.
was actually
I wanted to see it, and I didn't get to see it because I actually have the poster for that somewhere
it
around
was
here.
good.
Yeah, I've had the poster for that for years and was wanting to see it, but I think it was only ever playing in like New York or something like that. And then it
Mhm.
finally came to where I could see it, and I didn't get to go see it.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned this a while back, but for my show, I would love to do a John Carpenter retrospective.
Oh, I'm down for that. John Carpenter's my favorite director.
Because let's see, I'm looking at a calendar for October now. We would have for this show, we would have 4 weeks to fill for for Halloween Horror Month, and then for my show, I would have 5 because October 1st is no, because this show is technically. How would we do that? Because we
Well,
do the live show on the 30th.
well, here's what we could do. Since we have 4 weeks, why don't we do 2 of those weeks? We'll do a game, one for me, one for you, and then we'll do the movies for the last 2 weeks of the month.
I think that sounds perfect.
Because it's getting harder and harder to find retro horror games to play at this point because we've been doing this for 4 years. I think we've played pretty much every horror game there is to play at this
Yeah.
point. So maybe we should start dialing it back and actually start doing some movies. You know what I wouldn't mind doing too? Some of the scarier episodes of Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, like the Sandman episode, what's his name, the Boogeyman episode.
Mhm.
Those are scary. We could do those.
I'd be totally down with that.
I'm down for coming out with a bunch of content in in October because I'm a Halloween junkie.
Yeah, Halloween's really grown on me the last few years, so I'm totally down for that.
Yeah. Well, Mixmaster, I haven't done the first Resident Evil. I've done the original Resident Evil 2 for Nintendo 64, and I reviewed the remake.
Yeah.
But I've never done the original, so I may do that this year. They have it on Switch right now, I think, for. Let's see. Let me just take a quick gander because I know it's on sale right now.
Because I want to say I was going to do, it might have been Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
was
that
going
was
to
it.
review that, but I never did. So, I mean, that can be my one, October review.
Yeah. Let's see. Resident Evil. Oh, why do I have to put a game age verification? Come on, Nintendo. I just want to look at the game. It is right now $12.99 on Switch Store. That's not bad. I may go ahead and
No,
get
it's
that this
not.
week. I still got a few bucks left on my credit. Plus, I got $5 coming from GameStop. Actually, after tomorrow, I can go Friday, get my $5 in
Heck yeah.
Nintendo money from GameStop. So I'm gonna
I
do
dig
that.
it.
I'll get Resident Evil and I'll play that for Halloween this year. And I'll have everything to where I can actually stream it too. So I may stream it this year.
Look at us making plans in
Yeah,
advance.
I like this. Sorry the show's going so long. I like making plans, and everybody here is in the chat room. So I figure we might as well do this while everybody's here.
Yeah, why not?
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Where did that come from? I love that show, but I don't know why. I looked in the chat room and all I saw was Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I haven't watched that show in a long time.
I would love to do a Friday the 13th retrospective, but honestly, at this point, there are so many Friday the 13th movies. I don't know if I could sit through all of them.
I think it would have to be like a certain number because I think the same with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
There's so many that I'd rather do just like say we're gonna watch the original 3,
Yeah. I would
which
say,
we did a review of the original Nightmare on Elm Street on the show a couple of years ago.
yes, we did.
Because both Wally and Joey were on the
Yeah.
show.
And I wouldn't want to do the remake because I did not like the remake at all. It,
I never
it,
saw it.
it was way too, I don't know. It just didn't have even though the original was creepy and scary, it had a lot of heart to it. And it was just missing from the remake. I don't know. It was just, I didn't like it as much.
Well, you know what the best horror movie of all time ever is, right?
They Live?
Just from sheer terror, Double Dragon.
Oh yeah, my movie was terrible. I can't handle watching that movie again.
I'm
It
too scared to watch it.
gave me nightmares. Oh man, well let's go ahead and get out of here for tonight. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me play our music here. If you would like to email us, you can email us at nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. We are at nerdcaveretro.com. We're on Instagram and Twitter at nerdcaveretro and individually at JayFunktastic and at Derek_Diamond. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdcaveretro. And we are on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdcaveretro, where you can go throw us a couple of bucks a month to help keep the lights on. And also, if we stay above that $50 level, we will do the extra episodes every month of the commentary tracks for all the cool movies from back in the day, with the exception of Double Dragon. But if you can't do that, can't leave us a couple bucks a month, leave us a review wherever fine podcasts are given away for free. So Derek, please tell them what it's all about.
Can't be too careful with all those weirdos around.
Yes.
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
That was a good show.
That was a damn good show.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for all you guys for hanging out tonight. All of y'all.
Yeah, we had a good
here.
chat tonight.
Carrier on Dreamcast was a good clone of Resident Evil. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, I actually now I want to go watch Courage the Cowardly Dog now.
Same.
I love that show.
No, it's a good cartoon.
Those old people on there remind me of my parents now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get going, and I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Be here for Open Micers tomorrow night at 7. And also, I won't be doing a Saturday stream this week because I have to work. But I will pick it back up next Saturday. But I will be here Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So thank you guys, and see you next week.